Watch people, welcome back to this week's Sunday sermon. Quick itch of the beard to get us started. First of all, just some updates on some stuff. On the Thursday the 26th of February, we're going to be launching our first episode, our first session of Truth Works, which is a new, improved, reimagined, repackaged version of the Hearing Heart. So there'll be loads more details coming out about that nearer the time, but I just thought I'd give you a little heads up for that. Myga's coming back. We haven't got a date for that yet because we're still toying with things, but it's happening. And we've got already some very, very potent forces lined up for the Myga platform. If you're not familiar with that, and the first time you're hearing me say Myga, it's make yourself great again. Yeah, see what we did there? And then also, we are launching very soon. I know it's been long overdue, but life goes on, doesn't it? That's what happens. Life happens, you know, people. Life just carries on. There's nothing you can do. It just keeps rolling. The days and the weeks and the minutes, and fuck me, it's Christmas next week. So yeah, the Dear Danny Show podcast coming soon too. So lots to look forward to. Also, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, just quickly. This is not today's subject, but quickly because I think it's poignant. We had I had a really fucking narky email from a lady, which I was going to read out actually, but I forgot to bring it with me, and because I'm shooting on my phone, I can't access it right now. But it was narky, you know, salty bastard it was. And it's not a unfamiliar subject because probably, I don't know, once a week I get told off for it, which is my use of profanity, swearing, calling everyone cunts. Look, the thing is, look, it's fine, right? It's absolutely fine. If you don't like the way I talk, then don't fucking listen to me. It's that simple. Can you imagine all of a sudden, like, you're hearing a fucking rapper on the radio and you're thinking, whoa, I'm really offended by the use of that language. All of these niggers and fucking bitches and fucking whores and hoes and slags, I don't like that language. I'm going to ring up that record label and ask them to cancel that rapper. You know, imagine like going to watch a movie and like people are swearing in the movie. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. You know, like, what do you do about that? Do you like want to walk out of the movie? Do you want to write a fucking letter or an email to the actor? Or to the scriptwriter? I mean, like, the issue's yours. Yeah? Anyone who's offended with my language, that's your fucking problem. You sensitive cunt. Look, I mean, I've said this so many times before, right? It's just fucking noise. It's just noise. It's just a phonetic. It's just a sound. That's all it is, a sound. Yeah? It's like an instrument, a piano that's untuned or it's just been made and it's raw and it's fucking, it hasn't really honed itself yet and it's still got its about it. It's just a noise. It's like a really powerful motorbike revving up. It's just a noise. Like how we label it, what we label it, that's on us, right? Like we're the ones that give it a label. We say that's positive or that's negative or I don't like that or whatever. We label them things, yeah? That's what makes it have its, you know, that's how we put it in a box somewhere. And that's how we make it into, it has a compartment somewhere because we give it a label, all right? I'm just expressing myself. Yeah, this is how I talk, you know? Like literally, if you wanna write an email about the way I talk, ask my wife, all right? Ask Hannah. Just say, does he always talk like that, or is that just for show? I mean, it's just the way I talk. Ask my dad, You know, my mum, the amount of times I've been out with my mum eating and she's going, oh, don't say that. And my dad goes, Carl, your language. You know, it's just the way I talk. I don't do it for applause. I'm not looking to fucking offend anyone. I'm not doing it like, there's no agenda. There's not a script here that's saying, right, throw a few cunts in there now, Danny. That'll do it. That'll get the numbers up. That'll get the ratings up. Throw a few cunts in there. It's just the way this is just my expression. That's all it is, you know. What else can I say? I'm not going to apologise because this is who I am. You know, that would be very strange for me to apologise. It'd be like someone else who's come from a very well-to-do background, that gone through elocution lessons at a public school, and all of a sudden they're saying, I'm very sorry that I talk like this. I'm very sorry that I pronounce all of my words perfectly. I'm incredibly sorry about that. You have to live with it. You know, like, I wouldn't expect anyone to apologise for fucking anything. I don't give a shit. That's the truth. I really don't give a shit. And nor should you. All right? Nor should you. And it says more about you than it does about my swearing. And that's the thing people have got to get to. If you're triggered about something, if you're offended by something, that says more about you, the person taking the offence. Not about the person who is not going out their way to personally trigger you. They're just expressing themselves in the way that they see fit in any spontaneous free moment of choice. And you're feeling it. It's going in and you're going, oh no, I can't handle that. Right, I must tell them. And it's like, no one wants to know. No one gives a fuck if you're offended. All right? That's the old way of living, where you can write complaint letters. What do you think this is, like fucking BBC or something? He's not going to read out your complaint letter. We're very sorry, madam, for the use of profanity and the word cunt last week in the newsletter. No one gives a fuck about offence. And if you do, listen, you're following the wrong people, mate. You're in the wrong space. Read the room. You know? So, that's it, all right? That's it. I'm going to continue being me. You can carry on taking offence if you like. And that's that. That's where we'll leave that, yeah? We'll draw a line under that. Right, welcome back to the Sunday sermon, darlings. What did I want to talk about this week? A very, very important subject. I mean, listen, they're all important subjects, aren't they? Like, how the fuck can you get round to them all? In fact, listen, maybe I shot myself in the foot, right? Because what I'd done was, in our newsletter a couple of weeks ago when we announced the return of the Sunday sermon, I said about people could write in and give you topics, which is a lovely idea, but actually thinking about it, I've got so many emails of topics, like, I don't know how I would approach that. So thank you very much for taking the time to write, because there were some really beautiful things that people sent in and lovely topics of conversation. But I think they're better, and I think probably it would suit it better if they were aimed at MIGA, you know. So if you came along to our MIGA space and asked the questions there, we can get into a nice fucking dynamic dialogue, can't we, together? You know, and we can really get into that subject matter, because there's some great stuff, it really is. But I just feel like to try and answer that stuff now in the Sunday sermon, maybe at some point in the future, but right now it just feels very much that I've got enough backed up. There's enough going on in this fucking world for me to be for me to use this time just to address that, you know, the circus that is our reality. Welcome. It's like that, isn't it? Every morning you wake up and you open your door, what's going to be for today, everyone? And look, this brings us nicely on to what I want to talk about, right, is the attention economy. That phrase has been bandied around a long time, you know, a long time. And it's got a lot of value, right, for what it's trying to describe. Because if you, like, take a look at the mankind, yeah, take a look at the human race, right? We have got probably the most powerful computer in the world in our nuts, right? It's incredibly powerful. Like, I mean, a force to be reckoned with. And I think we only access, so I'm told, like most of us only access something between 8 and 12% of our brain's capabilities. So there's so much like stuff that we can do with that power. And a lot of that power resides in the subconscious mind. So if these clever fuckers of like the Rand Corporation, the Tavistock Institute, all of these like very, very clandestine institutes that are like seriously well funded, yeah, they like crazy amount of funding goes into them. And literally they're just sitting there and they're going through human psychology and they're just working out how to nick our attention. That's what they're doing, right? First and foremost. Is how can they get our attention? Because what they want to do is they want to take all of our energy, all of our power, all of our focus and attention away from us, right? So we could be using all that vitality and all that energy over here, right? And like doing something amazing with it, you know, like so many different things. Learning new skills, becoming self-governing, self-determining, becoming like learning new languages, fucking learning how to build, how to grow our food, how to heal ourselves, how to heal other people, how to find free energy, how to fucking create cloud busters. Like, I mean, the list goes on. That like when you open Pandora's box of like, wow, this is what we could really be doing in our world. Wow, mate, there's so much there. Like all the things that we moan about, all the things that we're pissed off about in this world, once you take a different perspective and you go like, okay, that's another invitation for me to get deeper into this shit. It's another invitation, right? It's a different perspective to saying, oh no, poor me. Oh no, this is happening to me again. If we like, nah, that's not, get your windscreen wipers on, get rid of that bad weather. That's my windscreen wiper noise. See, I've digressed now, haven't I, into windscreen wiper noises. All right, I'm just going to be the guy out of Police Academy making funny noises for the rest of the video. If we are able to change the perspective, right, and not see things as a doom and gloom victimization of our reality, but instead see it as an invitation, right, how can I take more charge of that? How can I take more control of that situation? How can I use all of this data, right? And I'm not going to label it negative. I'm just going to say it's data, neutral information. I can take that in and then I can use that. I can repurpose that, recycle that, fear or doubt or suspicion or threat or the latest fucking news headline or public relations release, you know, saying that this is going to happen to you lot now and you're all bad and you're all going to have the jab and you're all going to be in FEMA camps. I'm going to use all that and realise how I can repurpose all of this energy that is kicking off inside of me, what is triggered. I'm going to use that to figure out what I can do about it. And sometimes that hits you on an emotional level, right? Sometimes you go, oh, fucking hell, I've got self-worth issues, or I've got self-doubt issues, or I've got empowerment issues, or something like that, yeah? And then you can work on that, can't you? You can start to go, right, I'm not having that anymore. I'm going to fucking click that switch. I'm going to write that program off. I'm going to reinvent that part of myself. Because that's what's available to us. And now it's all becoming much more accessible. Or perhaps some that you see like, oh, do you know what? Fuck me, look at all these clouds in the sky, all these fake clouds, all these fucking chemtrails, all of them up in the air. Well, I'm going to look into how I get rid of them. Or all of a sudden, fucking hell, I'm feeling a bit ill. I'm feeling a little bit like I'm slow, or I've got an headache, or I've got fucking psoriasis, or I've got eczema, or I've got fucking anxiety, whatever it is. I'm going to start looking into it. I'm not going to go to a doctor. I'm not going to get someone else to fucking look at me. I'm looking into an existence of autonomy, of rich fucking autonomy, where I'm in control. I'm in charge now. All right? So by flipping the coin, flipping the switch, all of a sudden, the perspectives change. And now we're looking at things as a possibility, as a potential for a very, very wonderful opportunity to learn something new, to uncover something new, to get stronger, to get more empowered. All right, that's what begins to happen. In fact, the wonderful lady, Mrs. Salty is what I'm going to call her. Miss Salty, when she wrote in about me swearing, maybe she could use them wonderful triggers, that data, see what comes up, see how she can use that data and she can repurpose that into her life, all that lovely vitality. And so one of the things is that like that energy, that vitality, that fucking beautiful power of attention that we've got, which comes from the mind most of the time, right? We're picking up things and we're like stimulated in a mental capacity, in a cognitive way. They want to capture that straight away. And then they want to create all these different narratives, all these different stories, and they want to take us on a journey so we're completely out of ourselves. That's what it's about. And so the first thing is attention, yeah, that's number one. It is attention. They're trying to get our attention. And once they got our attention, then they can feed us whatever they want, you know. And 9 times out of 10, it's trying to forge our personalities, to be able to mold our values and our principles, to make them feel like they've come from within, but they actually haven't. For a lot of us, they have, right? Like, a lot of us are like, you know, deep inside you, this is who I am. Do you know what I mean? This is me. This is me now. This is my actual fucking, you know, my soul level talking to me about how I feel about the world and what I feel about injustice and inequality. You know, you can feel that on a fucking soul level. And so, you know, that's got nothing to do with the mind. That's your whole body, your whole, like, all your entire being reacts to something of injustice. You know, or something of cruelty, or something that is just like, do you know what, you're not doing that to me. You know, and that's like something you can feel like is your body operating, then it's the whole system together operating together. But when it's just in the mind, when it's on the devices, or it's on the news, or it's in the paper, not that any cunt reads a paper anymore, but we are reading papers, but just in a different way, aren't we? You know, the papers have made way for the paper in our palm of our hand now, you know, and that can access every single news headline in an instant. And so we're bombarded with it, we're saturated with it, we're suffocated by it, you know, this fucking constant bombardment of sensationalism and drama and fear, and it's like, whoa! And all it wants to do is to get you to attend to it. It just wants to take your attention. It just wants to steal your attention, because then it's got you. That's the prison right there, right? Then you're imprisoned in like the Matrix, the prison of the Matrix. It wants you in there. It wants you to focus on that. And I'm talking about that, like, once we've attended to that, and all of our energy and focus, we're in there then, like, completely. That's it. Like, we're not capable of doing other things. Now, if you've got, like, if like myself, sometimes you partake in a bit of social commentary, then of course, like, you need to know what's going on in the world, you know, you need to know what's going on in society. But a lot of the time, I actually don't think you need to fucking look at these devices to find that out, because it's the same fucking narrative, spinning and spinning and spinning. It's hero, villain, it's fucking, you know, this like massive constant dispute going on across the world, division, anger, you know, right, wrong, bad, good, evil, you know, it's all the same, really. And so I feel that, like, take for an example, like, we're just seeing all of this stuff come out with the Epstein files, right? Now, my personal opinion on all that is that I don't even know if they even fucking exist, the Epstein files. I don't even know if he fucking existed. Like, I mean, as in Jeffrey Epstein. It's just to me, it's just an agent, right, of working from the state again. And like, so now he's deciding, and where they're going to roll it out, that all of these guys are okay because they're not on the list, and all of these guys over there, they're bad because they're on the list and they're going to be punished. But for me, like, just through logic and reason, it's like, who's in that club? You know, who's in that club? Well, it's all of them, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's all of them. You know, you'd be hard up to find someone who is not like a well-known household name celebrity or politician or billionaire or philanthropist. You'd be hard up to find one of them whose name you know, like, in an instant like that, who's not in the club. It's all of them. All of them. So now they're starting to understand that we're taking on like a new kind of authority for existence. We're taking on a new responsibility and an accountability, almost like an ownership of our world. Like, this is, hold on a minute, has this been going on for fucking ever? And the veil's starting to come down, and we're starting to pull the curtain back, and we're starting to see the dirty old nonce is there, like the Wizard of Oz. And we realise that this is what it is all about, right? So because they understand a lot of this, they understand a lot of this energy, they understand what's becoming accessible to mankind again on this earth, because whatever cloud we've been living in, whatever shadow has been the driving force of this earth, is starting to crack now. Yeah, it's really starting to crack, and we can feel, oh my God, that part, oh my God, I'm more than this. Oh, fucking hell, I'm more than this. I'm more than just this fucking meat soup walking about. I'm actually divinity, physicalized. So once we start to realise that, we start to look around and be like, hold on a minute, that's not right, that's not right. And that's what's happened. That's what the awakening is. It's just that people are starting to become more aware of what's going on in the world. And so these cunts know that, don't they? Right? So what they've done is they've created this whole situation. This whole entire situation they've created. And what they do now is this wonderful big public relations display, which is really controlled demolition in front of the masses, so we can see, oh look, they're the bad guys, right now punish them. And are they being punished? Who fucking knows? Who fucking cares? Do you actually think that because we see fucking Bill Gates strung up, or fucking whatever other nonce you can name, they're gonna get strung up? We know that they're gonna get fucking murdered, or they're gonna get hung, or they're gonna be in prison for life, and that's gonna stop all of the child trafficking. Is it fuck? You know, you'd be foolish to think that these fuckers, I mean, it's like they're investigating themselves, aren't they, at the end of the day? Because they're all part of the same club. So they're going to use one as a patsy, he's going to be a fall guy, they're probably going to get a nice little retirement plan beyond the ice wall, you know? And we're left there going, yeah, well done, you're heroes for fucking telling us what we already knew. And like the thing is, again, is like what are they telling us? What are they telling you? I ain't heard nothing new, mate. They're all nonsense. I feel like I've known that for the last 15 years. I don't really need for anyone else to tell me that. You know, we're talking about like a level of like Bohemian Grove. We're talking about the BBC who's still got a fucking a monument celebrating a known fucking paedophile and someone who like was a bestiality, you know, fucked his own dog, amongst other things. Eric Gill. You know, then the Jimmy Savile stuff. I mean, like, it's rotten to the core, mate. The establishment is rotten to the core. And who's in control? I'm not in control of the establishment. You? I'm not. Do you know what I mean? It's all of them. It's fucking all of them. All of the politicians, all the people you think you're on your side, all the ones that are being pushed to the front now to be like, oh no, we're different to those nonces over there. We're not the same nonces as those nonces over there. We speak the same as you. We have a pint in the pub with our friends. We're not the same as them nonces. We didn't go to the same schools as them. They're all the fucking same, the lot of them. The absolute lot of them. And what they really, really want, beyond everything, fundamentally, is our attention. They want to keep us locked in to the story. Because then we're useless. We're useless then, you know? And that's like, to me, that's most of it. It's most of it. It's like, it gets to the point, and this is how I feel, right? And this is probably why I've had a little bit of just a natural, a natural sort of feeling of not wanting to be on social media at the moment, because it's just fucking drippy. It's like so superficial hysteria. You know, listen, I'm not saying about everyone, right? Because there's some good people out there, and good people are saying the right things. But if they're not, for me, like if someone's not trying to empower you through, I don't know, whatever, spiritually or emotionally or mentally, or trying to get you to understand how you create a better life for yourself, whether that's to do with your health or your wealth or your like real purpose stuff, I'm bored of it. I'm bored of all like, oh, listen, do you hear about that? Do you hear about this? It's like, fucking hell, mate. Like, how much more can we listen to? And so the thing is for me, like having a different perspective on it, you can just see like it's all just about your attention. All they want us to do is be glued to our phones, reading the Epstein files. And I couldn't give a fuck, mate, about it. Because I know for a pretty certain they're all in on it. All of them. You know? Even the ones that they're saying are not in on it. Like if they're up there and they're that level and they're leaders of the modern world and they're at Davos and they're at Bilderberg, you know, they're all in on it, man. They're all in on it. They worship a different fucking source to us, man. And so by attending to the shit that they're pumping out, we get mangled into that. We get all fucking tangled up in what is not our source. And they do that cleverly, through using incredibly sophisticated yet primary tools of human emotion, of fear and fucking, of doubt, of sensationalism, of drama, of suspicion, of threat, of fucking, you know, our carnal desires. Like, social media is just, I mean, you could access porn, like, it's just frightening now, frightening. Porn and like serious violence. You know, this is all because it's by design, isn't it? It just wants to, it's hanging on now, hanging on just to keep our attention as much as possible. And that's why, like, sometimes I feel to myself, like, listen, I get messages on social media a lot. People saying to me, "Oh, thank you, Danny. You don't know how much you helped me. You know, you've saved lives with your early stuff, with like asking people not to take the fucking jab, and all of this stuff." And you know, like, brilliant. It's great, but I don't do it for applause. I really don't. You know, I don't. I just say it because I feel someone needs to say this shit. You know? And I can see there's still value in social media, but it just feels to me like, wow, it's so hysterical, so hysterical. So the thing is like, how do we disentangle ourselves from that? You know, like most of us, you're probably watching this on a device. You know, you're probably watching this on a social media platform, you know, somewhere along the line. I mean, we haven't managed to be able to create the infrastructure needed to be able to house this solely independently on our website yet. The future, we look to do that. But right now, you know, because of needs must, and we want to get as much positive fucking empowering messaging out there as possible, we have to use what we can to do that. And perhaps we're transmuting those platforms to a certain degree along the way. But the thing for me is that, like, disentangling ourselves from being caught up in the hysteria, yeah? Because there is a little bit like, you know, like truly, honestly, I think I was probably saying 10 years ago, I was driving people mad in the film industry when people was like having a break around a tea table, and I was pretty much going, they're all fucking nonsense, aren't they? They're all pedos. So there is a little bit of the feeling of like, wow, it's good that people are starting to talk about it and it's starting to come to the surface. I can see the positivity in that. However, we don't need to be involved in that parade, do we? You know, that parade's useless to us. We don't need to be involved in that. We can just take a step back and be like, yeah, well, it's all coming to the surface anyway, all of it. But we don't want to be standing there as the fucking apathetic bystander going, hey, clapping like a fucking seal, when all of that good energy can be used to make yourself fucking stronger, to be more informed, to be more empowered. And you could argue that, like, you are more informed, but you're not really, are you? Because it's some fucking script again. It's the Tavistock Institute, it's the Rand Corporation. They're the ones fucking telling you this is what you need to see now. Look, these are the ones who are controlling the media like puppets, who are putting out all of these behavioural studies, all of these human psychology agendas. That's all being done behind closed doors in the cloak and dagger corridors. So for me personally, I just feel like what do we want? Do you know, what do we want to do with our energy? Like, to focus that over there now, it just seems to me like it almost seems like a little bit boring. You know, like a bit awkward. It's sort of like, is that really still going on over there? Like, really? You know, are people still talking about that? Because I feel like that's what's been going on for ages, and like you can still. I've said this from the beginning. You know, like, they're on their last legs, mate. And I know it's taking a long time. And when I talk about they, right, who am I talking about? I'm talking about the nonces, the fucking Freemasonic fucking societies, the secret societies, the Bilderbergs, the Davos groups, like all of these, you know, the 13 families, these very, very high, self-proclaimed elite fucking weirdos, creepy, cowardly, spineless fucking weirdos behind the scenes, who have managed to be able to accumulate a lot of the world's resources, and so they have got major control in banking and in media and in science and in medicine and in the fucking industrial war complex. So, you know, like, they're taking a long time to realise they're dead, you know. And look, I know some people are probably going to go like, you know, it's the Jews, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's really not. I know that there is a incredibly disproportionate representation of people who are Jewish or Zionist or whatever within very, very high echelons of like governments and massive corporations and multinational conglomerates across the world, yeah, and they've got massive control. But that's just too obvious as well, isn't it? That's too obvious, yeah. It's too obvious. So we need to go a little bit deeper into that, and we have to find out then it's just what it is it's a fucking negative energy, yeah, which is then using people and able to form itself. I mean, you could say that people could argue it's Satan, it's evil, but again, that's a story, isn't it? You know, like, is there like a big sitting on a throne somewhere, fucking Baphomet with fucking like tits and a fucking goat's head? I don't think so. I think there's probably a very, very hyper advanced fucking alien source to it, yeah. I'm not going to say reptiles because I don't even think that's true anymore. I think there's some kind of just I don't know, some kind of goo. A black goo is been present on this planet for too long, and I think that's all coming to an end now. So we're seeing a lot of this break down, but it's taking a fucking long time, and we're having to be incredibly patient, isn't it? But the thing is, for me, is that like I don't feel like I it doesn't bother me. I'm just like, I can go on forever like this because I'm becoming stronger. I'm becoming more self-sufficient. I'm becoming more fucking aware. I'm becoming more like connected to the higher realms of myself. I could say my soul very loosely. And my multi-dimensional self is coming more and more within this physical realm. And so all of that stuff to me, like, has been a, how could you not say that's positive? And the only way that came about is because I was kicked in the teeth by the whole pandemic, and it made me come into this part of myself that was always hidden. It was always suppressed. And I think that's probably not just me, is it, right? That's happened to so many of us. So like, it's not a case of like, oh, when's this going to be over? It's a case of like, well, what more can I learn? You know, what more can I uncover? How much more strength can I take on? How much more light can I take on? How much more fucking power? And I know we're just going to get stronger and stronger. And so I think the thing is that like when we're being bombarded with this stuff, and it is everywhere, yeah, it's hard to get away from it. You know, like even some of the I think some of the coolest influencers out there are talking about it. And I mean, good luck to them if that's what they want to spend their time doing. I just find it a little bit, it's got no value anymore. You know, like I feel like we're the real value, you know, and what we can do in this situation, on this earth, is got the real value. And trying to sort of keep up to date on nonces, investigating nonces, to me, it's like, all right, you lot go over there, fucking your weird, creepy fucking party, and we'll just crack on over here. And I think that's the split now, isn't it? There's a massive split. And even in people who you could say like people who class themselves as aware or self-proclaimed truthers, you know, the truthers. I'm a truther. Oh yeah, are you? Good luck with that. There's a big split even in that community. In the community, we could say like the people who are aware, because there's people who are aware very much on a, what you could say is like a surface level of awareness, which is that they know what's going on in the world. They've been down rabbit holes that tell them that there's an ice wall and there is fucking aliens living in the underground bunkers at the North Pole or Antarctica or whatever else, or whatever other fucking rabbit hole. And actually, that's just very much surface level awareness, isn't it? You know, like the real awareness is about us and about who we are, you know, and how we can be able to unhook ourselves, unplug ourselves from a lot of what has been holding us back. And once we start to do that, we realise that the stuff that is going on out there doesn't really affect us. And so I would just say, listen, happy hunting, you know, enjoy it. Enjoy the process, because it's a beautiful process. Like, even that some days you feel like pulling your fucking hair out. Trust me, you know, I've got a lot of hair. I could pull it out forever. I get it. I get it. You know, it's not the easiest time. But like, what's that wonderful saying, you know, like, hard times create strong men, you know, easy times create weak men. We've had it easy, haven't we? Let's be honest, most of us have had it easy. I know we've had stuff going on in our lives, emotional troubles and struggles and grief and abuse and all that stuff. I get all that, yeah. But like, for me, it's that, you know, we're still here, you know, we've still got probably access to food and to water and to fucking like levels of comfort that not everyone has, you know. And being grateful for a lot of that stuff can be a powerful source of energy to use. Anyway, listen, this has gone on quite a lot longer than I wanted it to, but it's a big subject, isn't it? You know, and I really don't want people to drown in it. You know, they've taken too much of our attention, they've taken too much of our focus, and they've repurposed it into consumerism, into manipulation, into fucking division, and, you know, steering us into kettling us, you know, into groups that we label, we become that self-fulfilled fucking label that they're giving us. When in truth, a lot of our energy can be used for some very, very beautiful and very, very powerful things. And I feel that's the best use of it. So, I hope you enjoyed the Sunday sermon, and I'll see you next week. Much love.